Hey everyone, welcome to our live chat. I'm Heather. I'm here with Luminous. Hey Candy, how are you? How is everyone doing this fine? Is it Tuesday? I don't even know what day it is. I think it is Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing great today and getting their face on, right? We're getting up, getting dressed, getting our face on, looking presentable for the day. But yeah, so in these live chats, what we do is I'm going to go over how to airbrush and show you how easy it is. And so hey Jeannie, how are you? If you have received your system, I hope that you are able to get it out and go right along with me in the airbrushing process so we can learn together. You can ask questions and just kind of experience it. So when we are airbrushing, the one thing, I want to show you our starter kit. Now your kit might have looked like this. This is our icon. The one that I have is the Icon Pro, and obviously you can tell it's a different color. And then mine is also a 2-speed. And so the second speed is a higher speed where it gives you a little more air pressure. And so you're able to do more extensive work like body work as far as if you wanted to tan and different things like that. It does come with 2 bottles of foundation. And so we give you 2 different bottles of foundation so you can mix and match your foundation. There's not another foundation, airbrush foundation out there, or traditional makeup, you can't do that, but without getting it everywhere. But with airbrush, you can mix and have that perfect shade match 365 days a year, which is pretty amazing. Plus, I want you to think of the starter kit as your practice kit. I want you to get in there, get your hands dirty, not really, but get in there and get used to it. We always say that there is a learning curve, so we want you to do it 7 days in a row. And then we also give you a bottle of love and a bottle of blush. Now, as you can tell, it is the smaller bottles, but with airbrush, you're using 10 times less makeup. So with the foundation, with the blush, with love, you're only using drops and not as much as you would, you're like, oh, I'm going to waste so much. You're just putting drops in there. Now, if you start out and you're doing more drops than I am, it's okay. But just know that the more you have this in your hand, the more you're going to learn and the better it's going to be. So I also want to show you, we are here for you pretty much all the time. We are here for you Monday through Friday at all the times that are listed below. And so make sure you do check us out on YouTube. Just subscribe below. Hey, Nancy, subscribe below. So when we do come on, it notifies you and you can come out and ask questions, because you might airbrush at another time and you're like, oh, I need to ask Heather that. And so that way you know when to come back and ask. All right. You can ask Renee or myself. All right, so I'm actually going to start with Velvet Veil. And so Velvet Veil is not in your starter kit, but those who have used it love it. We all know that we love our Velvet Veil. And it's not something you put on with the airbrush. This is something I'm actually going to kind of tap on in an upward motion. And what Velvet Veil is going to do is minimize my pores, wrinkles, and crinkles, and it even helps with redness. That wasn't something I was expecting it to do, but it does it. Now, you can put this all over, or you can put it in the areas that you need it. Most of the time when people get Velvet Veil, they're like, do you have one that's body size that I can just dip myself in? Because it is pretty amazing. And so I'm going to put that on. A little bit goes a long way. And there we go. And it dries pretty quick too. So you don't need a lot. It does have the little dropper inside. However, I set that aside and I do this and rub it in that way. To me, I just have a little more control because it's not something I want to waste. I love me some Velvet Veil. And then you're going to want to go straight to airbrushing. So if you do have Velvet Veil, you would put your moisturizer on first, then velvet veil, and then airbrush. So there you go. It is a blur. It is a blur. It does. Hey, Renee. How'd the cleanup go? Hey, Tamberly. How are you? The velvet veil is a blur. So it is going to blur fine lines and wrinkles, help with that pore reduction. But once it's on, it's on. Don't go, oh, I need more. Don't keep adding it. So a little bit does go a long way. And actually, I don't know if you can tell in my hand. Some people's hands you can tell a lot. I mean, I can for sure. What my grandmother used to say, for sure in Chinola. It's pretty amazing. So now I can go in and start my airbrushing. Now I am going to use another something a little different. And I'm going to use the peach color corrector. Now, what we give you when you first start out in your starter kit or in your practice kit, you can go straight to airbrushing. I just like showing you just other products. So the peach color corrector, that's going to help dark circles, and my lids are darker as well. And so that's going to help even out my skin tone, and it's going to start my coverage. I always call it the pre-coverage because I get coverage with anything I airbrush on that has a pigment to it. So even if it's blush, I'm still getting some coverage with that. All right, so I'm gonna go in, make a couple of passes on my lid. Can you see? I should have done just one, but see how that evens out my lids that were darker? I'm just going to go a little bit on my nose. Now remember also, when airbrushing, there's a couple of things that we want you to do, especially if you are new. These are the things that I do want you to remember. And the first thing is get it out of the box and play with it. So even if you're just turning it on, you plug it in, it comes put together. The hose where the air comes out of is attached to the stylus. Let me go this way. Attached to the stylus, that's attached to the compressor. The only thing you have to do is plug in this bad boy. And as soon as you turn it on, there's air. And it feels amazing. So just move the stylus around your face and just feel the air. Kind of play with it. You just do it up your nose. You can even do your eyelet. That tickles so much. I don't know why, but this one makes me, when I do it on this eye, it makes me have the shivers. And this eye, I'm fine. But this eye, oh, okay. I'm okay now. And just feel it. You can also put water right in here and spray your face. And that way you're even experiencing airbrushing a little bit more. So that's the first step that I want you to do. And then make sure you keep moving that stylus around your face. We want the makeup to go all around our face. So that makes sense that we would do the airbrush, do the stylus all around the face. Also, make sure you keep it about 4 finger widths away. That's also important for that distance to be, that's perfect. So it blends everything for you. When I airbrush, you don't see any streaks, you don't see any hot spots because that 4 finger widths away is a perfect distance to blend everything in. And then also barely pull back on the trigger. That is the one thing I do want you to practice, is pulling back on that trigger. And that releases the makeup. That is going to release the makeup, and barely pulling back is what you want because you don't want a lot to come out. This is not traditional makeup. And so you do not want to see it go on. And I know that's a little strange, but it is the truth. We want very little to go on. I just put 2 drops of my blush in here, and now I'm going to go in and do blush. So I turn on my system. I actually start my movements first and then pull back on my trigger. And I just keep in little circular motions just on my cheek area. I'm now looking in the mirror so I can make sure I get it even. Now I like to do it first. I like to do blush first because I like a more blended look. This is right now going to stand out because I don't have my foundation on. And so once I do the foundation, it will blend everything in. Whereas Renee likes a little more of a brighter blush. And so she does hers after the foundation, so it stands out a little bit more. That's a perfect example of what I'm telling you guys. Like, get the airbrushing movements down, get the actual act of airbrushing down, and then play with the product so you can see which steps are the best ones for you. Because like Renee would do her blush after the foundation, and I like doing my blush before the foundation. Does that make sense? It can be different for everybody. All right, I'm now going to add a little glow. Glow is similar to Love, except for the fact, I'm going to put 3 drops in. Love is a hydrating illuminator, and if I can find it, and Glow is a highlighter. And you can tell right there, Glow, and this one is Love, and you can tell it's more fleshy color. And then Glow, which I'm about to put on, is more of a highlighter. There's no shimmer, there's no extra oomph in it. It's just a pure highlighter. So I can make sure, or I can use that under my eyes to highlight under my eyes. And I can even go in, my brows are already done, but I'm going in a little closer and airbrushing right on my brow bone. That is how precise it is. And then what happens if you get something like that? Does that freak you out? Oh, what am I doing? Wash my face. Nope, I can just pat this out. Jeannie, I used Soft Rose blush. The Soft Rose blush, it's, people either love hate relate. It is one of our most popular blushes. It turns a little peachy on me, and sometimes it can turn pinky on people. And so, depending on how you want to use it, there you go. But mixing a drop of Love in with it it makes it a beautiful, beautiful blush if you need to tweak it a little bit. All right. Candy's having trouble with her laptop. All right, so now I'm going to go in I was going to use Mystic. Mystic is our high pigmented foundation, meaning you might not have to do as many passes to get the coverage. Because remember, with airbrushing, 3, 4, 7, with airbrushing, coverage is done by the passes, not by how much you put on. As far as like pulling back on the trigger, it is done by making passes. So now I have my Mystic foundation. I'm going to start on one side of my face and go around. And I go in and make one pass. Keeping it 4 finger widths away. I keep moving. And there we go. There was one pass. All right. So now looking back into the mirror, I can see, okay, where else do I need coverage? So I'm going to put the coverage on my cheeks where I want to blend out the blush a little bit. And on my nose in this area is where I know I need my coverage. Blend it down my neck. Candy's having trouble with her computer, and I understand your pain, girl. So it was 7 drops, and I don't need it all. So that should show you how long you make it last and how lightly you are pulling back on the trigger to only let a little bit out at a time. You don't need a lot going out. And like I said before, I want you to question whether or not it's even coming out. All right. So I'm actually opening up this new bottle of love. There we go. And the other thing I love about Luminous and I love about, hey, Patty, airbrush is it can be whatever mood you're in when you wake up. Luminous can be that for you. Meaning if you just want a little bit of makeup, or if you're like, oh no, I'm going to spend the time and I'm going to beat my face, then you can do that. Whoops. You can do that. And so if I like light coverage, medium coverage, full coverage, day to day, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get that with Luminous. All right. So now my computer went down yesterday, Candy. So I understand, right in the middle of editing a video. Oh, and by the way, somebody emailed me on this and I forgot to email them back, I think. There is a timer on these, guys. It's I think it's about a 15-minute timer. So if yours like shuts off after you've been airbrushing for a while, that's why. So there is a timer. I need to look back at my email. So I'm just going to put that a little bit everywhere so I can, there we go. And there we go. So blow the rest of that out. And I know you can tell there's a little bit of shimmer there. And so it's not a shimmer, it's a luminosity that you get with the love. It's not super bright. It's just going to grab light. That's why you can mix it in with your foundation. You can mix it in with your blush. You can mix it all over the place. I can put it on beforehand and then put my foundation on over that. So a lot of things you can do with it. So have fun with that. Here is Flamingo. I feel like I need Flamingo since it is Cinco de Mayo today. I feel like Flamingo is in that, like, it goes together, right? Flamingo and Cinco de Mayo. So yeah, okay. Makes sense in my head. All right. I love it. This is the Vinyl Slick Liquid Lipstick. Oh, Timberlake. Okay, good. I was like, sorry, baby, I didn't answer you back. But yes, there is a timer. And I will tell you this, with my icon. All right, with my icon, and actually the one I have right now, when I first got it, it would cut off sometimes a little faster, like sooner. And I was like, what's wrong? Actually, what I would want you to do is, I think it's more to do with the charger or the outlet. Make sure that the lines are straight. Sometimes this gets twisted and it can, I don't want to say short out, because short out to me means like there's no connection. But I think with this getting twisted, sometimes it does that and it'll stop it. So make sure that this is plugged in all the way, that that's pushed in, and that your outlet, everything's plugged in if you have that problem. But the timer is about 15 minutes. So just so you know. All right, guys, there you go. There you go. See the times below. We are here for you Monday through Friday. If you do need to get a hold of us, you can email us. I promised either to email you back or answer you here. You can always reach out to us as well. So I hope everyone has a great day today. And I will be back here at 4 and we'll do a complete look. All right, from start to finish. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.